안녕하세요, 어썸코리아 구독자 여러분. 저는 미국 아지입니다. 오랜만입니다. 오늘 대구에서 온 미군 2명과 부대찌개를 먹으려고 하는데요. 어디서 오고 있어요. Hey, America, come here. How you guys doing?
What's up, brother?
What's up? Hey, my name is Michael.
What's up?
Nice to meet you. Cool. What's your name, by the way?
I'm Sergeant Bally. You can call me Aaron.
Aaron, okay. And you?
Corporal Moore.
Cool. What do you guys do here?
We're in the United States Army. We're currently stationed at Camp Carroll. So we're in medical. We work at the TMC, so we're helping the soldiers out, getting their medical readiness and stuff like that.
Cool. Well, I hope you guys are hungry. You guys hungry?
I'm hungry, man.
You guys hungry?
I'm hungry.
I got us a spot here at this 부대찌개 restaurant. Do you guys know what 부대찌개 is? Kind of.
Kind of.
All right. Well, we're gonna go take a spot in this restaurant and get you guys some good food. Okay?
Too easy. Let's do it.
Let's go. You guys check out the environment, the smells. You got the smell. You guys know what we're eating today?
Bude찌개.
You kind of guessed, kind of like by the pictures and the menu here. We're gonna try 부대찌개 today. Do you know what 부대찌개 is? Do you know what 부대 means in Korean?
What does Bude mean?
부대 means unit or army in essence. 찌개 means stew.
Oh, army stew.
Have you guys ever had it before?
Yeah. I've had army stew before. It was really good.
You haven't had it?
No.
There's a pretty sad history behind 부대찌개. Post-liberation, really during the Korean War as well, and then post-Korean War, like a lot of people didn't have a lot of money. And so the history behind 부대찌개 is the Koreans or people would help them out or whatever, they would go and get spam and meats and hot dogs and cheese and beans, and they would get all of this like extra food that wasn't being eaten. So it sounds kind of gross.
It's like leftovers.
It's like leftover unit soup. It became a really famous dish here in Korea, especially around all of the major units. So Wijeongbu, like up there in the north where you all are. So there's one in Osan, there's one in Wijeongbu. All of these units, American bases, they're these really famous, like 부대찌개. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of like a whole bunch of stuff. So you have like spam and meats and hot dogs, cheese. It looks like mandu. All of that's kind of going to
Okay. 네.
스팸 부대찌개 3인분으로 해주세요. 맛있게 해주세요.
부대찌개 주세요.
There you go.
I've been practicing a little bit.
Can you read this line?
주문
주문 요령. That's pretty good. Korean alphabet's pretty easy. King Sejong developed the Korean alphabet, Hangul, so that all of like the common people could read Korean. This was back in like the 1400s, the medieval time. People were significantly less educated back then. You can learn how to read Hangul in a day if you try really, really hard. Realistically, it probably takes a couple of weeks. But how you guys join the army? I'm an army dude myself. I joined the army in 06. For you guys, you're pretty young.
I joined the army because when you're in high school, you don't really know what you want to do. I didn't want to go to college because in America, you know, you got to go to college, but you also have to pay those student loans, especially for me because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I didn't want to commit financially to something that I didn't even know that I wanted to do. And so my uncle was in the army. I always wanted to join the army. I was kind of inspired by, you know, the video games, Call of Duty, Black Hawk Down and stuff like that. I talked to a recruiter. The army recruiter said, hey, you know, you can come to my recruiter office, check out what jobs you qualify for.
So what do you do in the army? Is that a medical patch?
Yep, so we're medical, specifically dental. Before here, we were at Fort Drum Light Infantry Division, so working with those guys. We'd be rocking around with the infantry and stuff like that, just supporting them. We're just both dental.
I wanted to go to college. I actually got accepted into like an engineering school in North Carolina. I don't want to pay tuition. And I also like very lazy, didn't want to fill out FAFSA. So I'll have to do it when I get out for sure, like FAFSA, Pell Grant, all that. But so I wanted the army to pay for my student loans, basically. I could go to school, but also I wanted to travel. I wanted to get out of the hometown and see places like...
Did you guys want to come to Korea, or did the army tell you had to come?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about Korea. The army told me to come to Korea, so I came here. And now that I'm here, I love it. I love the culture. Very respectful, very courteous people. It's definitely a culture shock for sure, though.
I did have Korea on my army wish list. You know, they don't really go by that.
Any special reason? Did you know about Korea before you put it on the list?
I didn't know a lot. I guess every American does this, conflates Asian countries. I'll put Korea on there. And then plus you get to travel around and see.
Did you guys experience any culture shock whenever you came here?
The transportation etiquette is I like it a lot.
Public transportation is so much better.
And in America, you got like and people are playing loud music. They're talking on their phones in the cars and stuff like that. But in Korea, it's like...
Very respectful of everyone else's space, not space.
Ooh.
There's a bunch of different ingredients in here. Noodles, there's meatballs maybe there, mandu, cheese. But probably in this whole plate, what pops out most to you?
Just like the slow craft singles, they just slapped it on there. The Spam looks pretty good too.
Did you have Spam before you came to Korea?
I had it.
Of course,
yeah.
For real, you too?
Oh yeah.
I've lived here, I'm on my like 12th year now. Prior to coming to Korea, I never put Spam in my mouth.
No, yeah, same. Yeah. Well, like before I experienced it in America, like I thought Spam was nasty.
Yes.
Like I thought Spam was like, cause like it's always cheap. It's the cheap Spam, you know, you see it in the grocery store. But I went to a Hawaiian restaurant and I tried Spam musubi. I fell in love with it.
The reason I never liked it is you say like Spam stands for some parts are meat, really cheap meat. When you were in America, you had Spam and you had it in like a soup, is that what it was?
No, so it was at a Hawaiian restaurant. 감사합니다. It was at a Hawaiian restaurant. I just saw Spam musubi one day and I decided to try it.
Did you have Spam before you came to Korea?
My family would have like Spam by the packs and we have it in the pantry. We would just fry it, put it in between 2 pieces of bread. A Spam sandwich with some mustard on it.
부대찌개 has like a very special taste. Have you had like kimchi stew or any of the other stews in Korea? It's nothing like any of those. You can put whatever you want into this soup. 부대찌개 is kind of like centered around military bases in general. Do we have a food where when you eat it, you're like, oh, this makes me think of the army?
MREs.
MREs.
Something in a package.
Something in a vacuum sealed bag.
What's your favorite MRE?
Chili.
Mac.
No. Chili with beans. Put the cornbread inside the chili. You got the M&Ms too.
I don't know about that one.
Muchata.
I like chili mac for the entree, but I like the hamburger steak for all the side items. They're legendary on that one.
Have you guys tried the rock MREs before?
No?
I want to.
I heard they're pretty good. Man, let's mix it up. All right.
It looks good.
Oh, sorry. Here. Oh, right. It's hot.
Wow, that's good.
Wow.
The soup is good.
Oh. Wow.
And garlic here too.
You like garlic?
Love it.
It tastes so healthy. Like I feel like it's very healthy and no, this is really good.
So we'll hook you up with some more. There's a lot of noodles in here too.
Samida.
So what Koreans do is they will do something called like 말아먹어, and they will take the rice and put it into the soup itself. So normally when I eat 부대찌개, I don't use a separate plate. I just dump it straight into this one. When you eat Korean ramen, once you finish the noodles, you have all that broth left over. You take rice and then you dump it in there and then eat it with a spoon.
Wow.
Machota.
혹시 이거 라면 사리 넣기 전에 이거 육수 좀 더 넣어줄 수 있나요?
I love ramen.
Yeah, I love ramen too. Ooh. Wowza, nice.
Who did you learn that from?
Play soccer with Roka. Yeah, nice.
So before you guys came to Korea, had you ever had Korean food before?
You know what's crazy? We've had Korean fried chicken. Korean fried chicken in Canada.
In Canada?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, what were you in Canada for? Training or something?
Since we were stationed at Fort Drum, New York, Canada was like 30 minutes away.
Yeah. So you had Korean fried chicken in
Canada.
Do you guys like the Korean fried chicken on the bone or boneless?
I like boneless.
I like boneless as well.
My wife is Korean. She's a bone-in lady. She likes the regular chicken. Every time we order chicken, we have to order like the bone for her and then like the boneless for me. Come to Korea. What is your favorite Korean food?
I like gimbap.
Triangle kimbap.
Oh, 삼각김밥.
So good. I love ramen, so just Korean ramen. Jjajangmyeon.
What's jjajangmyeon?
Jjajangmyeon is like Korean Chinese food dish. The noodle is in like the black bean sauce.
I went there not too long ago and just had like corn dogs.
Oh, the Korean corn
Korean
dogs.
corn dogs are definitely, they hit different. We can have the ramen now. All right, I'll try not to get you.
All right, let's try to use some chopstick.
One second.
감사합니다.
Here, one more.
감사합니다.
Wow. I could eat ramen all day, every day. So good.
foreigners here in Korea really like these stews, probably because it's so salty. Like of all the Korean dishes.
That's why we like it so much.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes sense.
So whenever I cook for my mother-in-law, every time I cook her Korean food, she always asks for like rice and kimchi. She's always like, oh, it's really salty, so I need rice. So what they'll do is like, normally if it's too salty, you just mix it with the rice, it kind of dilutes it a bit.
I'm gonna get a little bit more.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
This is really good. A little bit of meat in there, get some protein.
Yeah.
And then this is kimchi, right?
Yeah.
I love kimchi.
This is like a white kimchi, closer to a pickle than it is. Yeah, give it a
I don't
shot.
think I've had white kimchi.
It's really good. It's kind of like sauerkraut. What do you think? No?
Sauerkraut.
What is this? This is like a radish kimchi, so it's a spicy type, but they do it with really thin pieces of.
That was good. This was good.
So you said you had fried spam before. How does that differ from this? Like, what do you think about the spam?
I don't think it's too, maybe just the way that it's prepared. So this is like kind of like, I guess, boiled versus fried.
It's texture.
The texture, and then it's not with like a bed of rice and a little seaweed wrap around it and the sauce. But I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say that's the only difference. Like, it's still like just as salty. It's just, in the States, the ones that I've had, it's like a nice crisp crunch to it. Just like, you can hear the crunch when you bite into it. Never had it where it's just soft spam.
So yeah, this is like a recognized official recipe. Has got to go into the bude찌개 for it to be legit. So even on like the official like spam like website, they talk about bude찌개 and like having to use their spam in there. It's pretty cool.
How much protein does spam have?
I don't know. That's a really good question. How much protein does a can of spam have in it?
You know what I'm saying?
7.4 grams? That's not a lot.
That's not a lot at all. Could you put?
Oh, I got you.
I'm about to put it. I'm gonna barehand this. You can just put it in there. Samita.
Nay.
If you guys need more rice, you can go get a free refill of it.
Oh, yeah, this is really filling. I like this.
Bude찌개 is normally really filling anyways, and then if you like mix it in with the rice, it does a pretty good job.
I usually eat a lot too.
I see what you're saying. Where the kimchi it makes it like not hotter anymore, you know? It's not.
Because it has like a pickling roll, culinary arts or whatever. Like you have like the pickle that cut kind of like greasy or salty taste, and so it can help out a lot.
I think the kimchi is very like refreshing on a real note.
The ramen is very good, spicy. The spam cooked to perfection. You know what I'm saying?
So down at Daegu, do you guys have like a Korean food that you enjoy the most?
We went to a couple restaurants in Daegu.
Nah, but Daegu Korean fried chicken is really good. Like for me, hard to understand the menus and stuff like that, so I know what chicken looks like.
Yeah. No, we went to this one place in Daegu. They had fried chicken with
And
the
popcorn. Very weird. Kind of didn't go together, not gonna lie.
They put popcorn on the fried chicken?
Yeah,
Like underneath it.
But
for some
the
reason.
chicken was good enough. They can do that. They're allowed to do that because the chicken's so good.
But have you tried any Korean food like this? Like stews
Oh,
or?
cow head stew.
Oh, yeah. Do you like it?
It was like a very chewy texture, and just knowing that it's like a cow's head, it was just like, I enjoyed it. It was really good.
A lot of
I
bulgogi.
love bulgogi.
I think that's like every military person's like first dish when they come to Korea. It's always bulgogi or like a spicy bulgogi. My first dish was a spicy bulgogi. So that you guys mentioned too, you train a lot. Do you train with the Rock Army as well?
We work with Katusas. We work directly with Katusas, but I competed against the Rock Army in like a fitness for the 707 Special Forces physical fitness test. I competed against them and they were pretty cool. Korean people, like once you start talking to them, like they start to open up, but like Korean people are like generally pretty shy. Like you get to know like dang, this dude is like really like me and we have a lot in common and stuff like that. And like they're pretty cool.
How's the relationship with the Katusas? You like them?
Yeah, they're.
I love my Katsusa buddies.
I worked with a lot of Katusas too. I was stationed out in Humphreys for just under 5 years. We had a lot of Katusas. Katusas are great. Do they do mostly translation for you guys or like work with?
They help with taxi drivers and stuff too.
Train tickets too.
With your Katusas, do you ever notice, so Rock military members get paid significantly more than they did when I first got here in 2007. I think their E5s, they got paid something like $200 or $300 a month. It was terrible. It was terrible. I think now they get around 1,000 or something like that. That's not the exact number, but it's significantly better. But we used to have these Katusas that would be like, I don't have any money, can you buy me all this food? So you would buy like pizza and drinks and energy drinks and all this stuff. And whenever they would go home to like see their family. Do Do you guys have like a favorite memorable moment with the Katusha?
One was my roommate, and because like my YouTube channel, he helped me order all the stuff from Coupang, like all the camera stuff like that. That helped tremendously because like back in the States, Amazon is gonna come here in a month, but Coupang takes like a week or so. So remember a memorable moment.
I just remember like my most memorable moments with Katusas is playing soccer with them.
Yeah, playing soccer.
A lot of soccer, especially when like the World Cup is going on. That's all we did for PT was play soccer.
Oh yeah. It's always a good time playing the Katusas. We do like US versus Katusas every time.
They teach you Korean?
Yeah, they help with Korean. That's
Joe Nachum.
Mochota.
Machota.
Crazy.
아 미쳤다.
미쳤다.
미쳤다. Daegu is in Gyeongsang-do, which has a different accent, different dialect than like Seoul. Do you guys learn that when you're there? Do you think you learn it?
I think it's all the same, or I thought it was all the same.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but I do know like from someone telling me like in Daegu accent they'll say like I have sleepiness or sleepiness is coming upon me.
What?
And then in Seoul they say I'm sleepy.
아 잠이 온다.
Yeah, 잠이 온다. Yeah.
When I first got here in 07, a lot of the Rock Army guys that we had were from that province, from Gyeongsang-do, but most of them were from Busan. I didn't know that there was any other dialect in Korean, and that was a dialect that I had learned whenever I first started studying Korean. I didn't realize there was a completely different dialect separate of Seoul. But I always wonder, like, hey man, if you're down in Daegu, you're basically in Gyeongsang-do like dialect. So there's a difference between Daegu dialect and even Busan dialect as well. Busan is much more thick. That's really funny.
It's crazy to me because South Korea is like such a small country.
That's what I said. South Korea is about the size of Indiana, but they have like 6 dialects. You have all the main dialects for the provinces. So you have like Gangwon-do, you have Seoul, the way that people speak in Seoul, the way that people speak in Chungcheong province, and then the other 2 provinces on the bottom. But within those, they have 2 separate dialects for each of those.
And we have like only 4 different dialects in the different part of the states.
Like in Virginia, we have like 3. You have Chesapeake dialect, the Appalachian, like the mountain people dialect, and then the normal dialect in the middle part.
What's your favorite dessert, Korean dessert?
I don't mind Korean dessert, but they're not as sweet.
They put sugar in things that don't need sugar, and they
So they're not sweet.
That's why Koreans are so healthy and yeah.
So like in Korea, when like they try a Korean dessert and they'll eat it and they say, oh, it's good, it's not too sweet. That means that it's good. But if it's too sweet, like out to our level, they're like, oh, 달달해. Like, oh, it's too sweet.
Yeah.
Korean ice cream is pretty good.
I have to try it.
bingsu.
Patbingsu. Yeah, bingsu is pretty good. Funny you mention that. I think there are a lot of things that Americans experience in Korea and then we like keep it internally till we realize that like, hey, all the other people are experiencing this way too.
Yeah. It's also like so hot and Daegu, it's very hot.
Oh, yeah.
You know what the Koreans call daegu? Deprika.
What is,
Hell on Earth, probably.
Guess what deprika means?
armpit?
Microwave?
No, I'll give you a hint. It's a mixture of 2 words. Deprika.
Deprika? The desert?
Deprika.
Africa!
And
Africa.
de.
Africa and Daegu.
Yeah, Africa and Daegu. Daegu plus Africa is Deprika. So like Daegu is really hot.
Like Africa. Yeah, it is.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Every time you walk outside,
Like yeah, I didn't go outside at all. Every 5 minutes, like I gotta go take a shower.
So I wear a suit to work.
Oh no, dude. Yeah.
I have this hill that I have to climb up every day to get to my office. Just because, you know, that's how the base works. You have to park, walk a long way, go up a hill, and you're just like sweating like crazy. But that's in Pyeongtaek. Daegu is like a bit hotter than Pyeongtaek.
it's more so like the humidity plus
Yeah,
the
the
heat.
humidity is like, oh my god.
So bad. It just feels like you enter a sauna as soon as you walk outdoors.
Have you been to Jeju Island?
You?
No. How do you like it though?
I think a lot of people assume that Jeju-do is pretty small. It's like really big. I've been there 3 times and I don't think I've explored all of it at once. Have you guys had samgyeopsal? The pork? So they do that, but there's like a specific breed of pig that's like unique to Jeju-do. It slaps.
Yes.
Oh man, that's one place you have to go. It's really nice. It's an island and it's warm for the most part. There's a big volcano there. There's lots of food, lots of beaches. Tea is really famous there in Jeju-do.
The bag tea is so good.
So, How'd you like it?
I'll let you go first, buddy.
So good, delicious.
What did you like most about it?
I love ramen. The ramen was so good, and just the soup base, like salty, garlicky, tad spice. I liked it a lot. Just the base was very good, tasty.
It was really good. It was very filling, and I think my favorite part that I liked about it the most was probably the glass noodles or whatever, the clear noodles. Yeah, and then the ramen was also pretty good too.
When you guys go back to Daegu, you should try it out of all of the different places. Make it a bit differently.
Yeah, because the one in Seoul, it had beans, squid, and a bunch of other stuff. It was really good. Thank you for the opportunity. I think more people should go out and experience bude찌개 because like the history behind it, and it's a good filling meal.
I agree, everything he said.
So I appreciate you guys coming. I work with Air Force folks, so I haven't seen Army dudes in a long time. As an Army guy myself, it's nice to see you guys every now and then. So thanks for coming. And if you guys are ever on, hit me up. Well, if you guys make it up here again, just hit me up.
Yes, sir.
What's up, guys? I'm Aaron. I'm currently in South Korea serving in the United States Army. I've been here for about 8 months now. I'm originally from Zion, Illinois. If you guys don't know where that's at, that's in Chicago, USA. You guys know the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, so you guys know where that's at. I'm enjoying it, serving with the Roka Army, and I love it so far.
안녕하세요. My name's Gage. I'm from North Carolina, and I joined the Army right out of high school. They sent me here to Korea after going to Fort Drum, and I'm loving it so far.
Our jobs, we're 68 Echo, we're dental specialists in the United States Army, but in Korea, we work with the actual Roka Army. So when it comes to actual training, we train in joint with the Roka Army in terms of combat casualty care. So we know how to take care of soldiers in case they get wounded. We've also done gas chambers. So in case of an emergency or in a chemical attack, we know how to use our gas mask and our personal protection equipment. And then on top of that, we also know how to respond to threats and other soldier tasks that you might need to know as a soldier. But overall, it's been a really rewarding experience working with the Korean Army because it's very important in our relationship that we have with the Korean Army that we actually know how to work with each other with the language barriers and the cultural. So it's important, and I'm really happy to learn about how Korea's customs and cultures are.
Yeah, that about sums it up. I mean, we go to the range and make sure we're up to date on all our warrior tasks and drills so that we're prepared just in case that time comes where we gotta actually use it. We hope that doesn't happen, but yeah, I'm staying happy. I'm excited to be here in Korea.
I got invited out to the Special Warfare Center to do the 707 Special Forces Group physical fitness test. It was a very cool experience. I got to go up against the Roka, Marines, Navy, Air Force, and other Special Forces detachments, and it was a very cool experience. I got to meet a lot of cool Special Forces or special personnel, and it was very rewarding. We got to exchange patches. It was pretty tough. I didn't realize how hard it was to be a part of the 707 Special Forces Group, but it was very cool, and I'm glad I did it.
I've done like competitions, but not exactly in the way he has directly with Roka. I've just done like against American soldiers here. A lot of like put on all your gear, run around in the heat, sweat, shoot your rifle at targets. But I haven't really done too much like direct training with Roka.
Before coming to Korea, I thought Korea was this very beautiful place. The skincare here is very, very good, and everybody is fit. And I guess that's kind of why, like, when every guy goes into the service, they learn how to take care of themselves. So when you're walking around Korea, you start to see versus America, because, you know, it's an all-volunteer military force. You get to see how the guys in America looked, and then you go to Korea, you're like, wow, everybody has this slim physical build, which is probably has something to do with being in the military because every guy has to serve. I think it's a good thing. I think making mandatory service can be a good thing because every guy has something in common to talk about. Every guy can potentially be friends because they could just talk about their experience in the military. And it kind of instills that discipline, that patriotism of their country and that love for their country. And it's just like good skills, being able to overcome challenges and have that self-resiliency. I think that's very important.
I definitely agree. The relatability that comes with serving your country, it's awesome. You get like a camaraderie with every man, basically, if you're a Korean man. So I think it's awesome. I think it'd be cool if the States did something similar, but that's a little bit, I'm sure a lot of people don't agree with me on that one.
Every Korean soldier that I've worked with personally, they all had a basic understanding of what to do with a rifle in terms of the proper fundamentals of holding the rifle, how to to reload the rifle, how to take the rifle apart. I'm sure there's videos out there too, like where they give a rifle to a random guy and then they like, hey, what do you remember from your service? And they're still able to remember all those skills. When I think of reserve, when I think of the Korean reserves, I think it's a lifelong thing. You will never, once you are a Korean soldier, you will always be a Korean soldier. It's like always gonna be there.
I actually wonder if they use M4? I don't know the rifle that they use here.
I think they use the K2, but...
K2, okay, yes. I don't know too much about Korean marksmanship, but yeah, I think he made all the good comments for that one.
Yeah, in the United States military, there's 3 types of possible
Army components.
Army components. There's United States Army Active, there's United States Army Reserve, and there's United States Army National Guard. National Guard, let's say a state, right? The state of the New York, right? New York State, there's gonna be a National Guard, right? That's for New York.
State reserves. Those troops belong to the state.
And then they're not forced to go into though. All the United States military is voluntary, like, so if they choose to go to the reserves, they're choosing because they want to go. And it's going to be like a weekend.
Yeah, 1 weekend out of the month.
And then 2 weeks in the summertime for annual training. That was reserved. So for National Guard, or rather, that was National Guard, but for reserves, it's kind of similar to National Guard in the sense of like
1 weekend a month, and you have a full-time job as well. So you work your civilian life, just doing your normal job, and that 1 weekend out of the month, you're going to do your Army training, wherever your unit may be.
Yeah, and then active duty, which is us. You're a soldier full time. You're gonna go where the Army tells you to go, and you
the best one.
Yeah, personally the best one. But if you're reserves, National Guard, you are going to have like a regular job. You're gonna be a part-time soldier pretty much. So, oh, this looks like, okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I think that was, at first I thought that was like, oh, this is kind of like drill and ceremony color guard stuff.
That's something like DNC, like just normal, like, pour arms, you know, salute, stuff like that. But he started throwing the gun, and that's when it's like, okay.
I think he added his own little twist on that one.
Of course, yeah.
I think he's pretending to be like at a range or something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, load the mag. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Hit the phone.
yep.
Safe to semi. What is that? I don't know what that one is. I don't know what that one is. Maybe under a door.
Yeah, I guess they're just memories from the range when he was used to be in the army.
Kind of like the army shooting test. When we go to the range, we have our different positions. They want us to start standing and then hit the prone and then let out 9, then go to prone supported, and then we go to kneeling and back up to standing supported. So maybe he was doing something like along the lines of that. I don't know what this one was. To be honest, I have never seen a bayonet on one of our rifles.
In our experience, we really don't use bayonets anymore. We probably still have them in our inventory for like worst case scenarios, but we're not trained. I'm sure there's...
You're more likely to see a grenade launcher attached than a bayonet for sure. We fight at a distance.
We try to be as far away from the enemy as possible. So our bayonet techniques aren't really touched up on as much. Yeah, but I'm sure we still have documentation or FMs or doctrine on bayonet tactics and stuff like that in case we do need to actually use a bayonet for it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
So old and young. Okay, got a little dance battle going on.
Oh yeah, it's a competition.
Old school versus new school.
Okay.
Okay, now this is familiar. This is drill and ceremony.
That was smooth. Yeah.
Okay. So are these the old guys or new guys? Okay.
These are,
okay.
The young generation. Okay.
I feel like he's finna sauce him up.
He's about to.
Okay.
Yeah. He's nonchalant with it.
Yeah, he's straight face, smooth criminal.
Boom. Smooth.
Nonchalant. This is too easy.
Yeah,
This is too easy. I do this in my sleep. Okay.
He's not even trying for real.
This ain't nothing.
Oh, hit him with that.
Okay, dang. Okay, he said, now I gotta clap back.
Oh, a little drop. Oh,
he didn't even have to look for that either. Okay.
This is impressive stuff.
Their forearms are just freaking strong as heck. Oh my God.
Oh boy. Wow.
Butterflies.
That's
Okay.
too easy.
Dang.
It's a windmill, man. That
Making
shit's
me
speeding
dizzy.
up. Wow.
It's like Stomp the Yard, but military version.
I can't even hold it still.
And then you would hit your face with it too sometimes.
Yeah, wow. I'm wondering, is he in slides?
Ooh, okay.
Little salute.
Nice little salute. Shoulder arms, yep.
Shoulder arms. So smooth. I mean, you know, American Honor Guard is also pretty smooth. But it was very clean. I really enjoyed it. It's very impressive. Yeah. All those guys, American, everyone who does that, so impressed by it.
Yeah, like in my experience from what I've seen in the States compared to that, it's very similar. Lots of time is taken in order to just learn all this stuff. And then not only that, you have to make sure that you're in unison with your friend or your buddy. Like everybody has to be the same. And like, I feel like that's the hardest part because if one person is just a slightly tiny second off, it messes everything up. So yeah, they did a really good job and you could definitely see that they actually care and they took the time to learn all that stuff. Their forearms must be freaking holy. Their forearms must be.
Oh, you're just flipping, nonstop.
Butterfly. I didn't really notice any differences in America. Like each drill squad has their routine, and then obviously like the videos that you showed us, they're just practicing their routine individually or like in a group. And then when you actually perform your routine in front of the ceremony, that's when you get to see the differences. But the foundational training is pretty similar in terms of like drill and ceremony. Like once you get a good grasp of it, like no matter what country, it's pretty similar. So not really much of a difference.
Yeah, not too much. From what I hear with honor guard soldiers, I have a lot of respect for them because like they have to get up super early, make sure their uniform is pristine, crisp, perfect. Everything has to look perfect. They're all about the eyes. Whenever you look at them, they have to be absolutely stunning every time. So they're always dry cleaning. They're always ironing out their clothes, their uniforms, making sure everything is perfect. And they memorized it. It's impressive. They just come together after 3 years
without touching anything, any type of
weapon. They already got it down. It's the amount of training it takes to actually be able to do it. It's ridiculous.
I think the first one is pretty impressive. Those guys are pretty good. And their energy was pretty up there. I
liked his style. I liked the guy with the backwards hat. He was like very nonchalant with it.
Yeah, he just relying on his skills to do the talking instead of everything else. Like this is really impressive.
This is impressive.
The energy is there, the focus, the tenacity, everything about it is so just beautiful. Like
that's clean.
Active duty compared to reservist, for us it's like
I go to work every day.
Yeah, since we go to work every day, the weekend is like when we actually,
That's when I'm like, hurry up, go to Seoul.
But for them, the weekend is when they actually go to there, so.
You kind of feel, it's like a weird feeling because you haven't had your phone like very much for 10 whole weeks. You've been writing letters, you're bald. I don't know, it's refreshing. Like, oh, I'm finally out of this prison,
I would say it's like you just got out of jail vibes, You haven't been able to do what you usually been doing. Your hair is gonna be shaved. You haven't had good food in a while. You're thinking about all the McDonald's,
You're thinking about food. I would see my drill sergeants come in with like monsters and freaking like a McDonald's meal. Oh man, so jealous.
You're thinking about all the freedom, like you can't put your hands in your pockets. You haven't worn civilian clothes in a while. Like you haven't worn like your hoodies or your sweatpants in a while. And you gotta just you can't, like once you're off work, you're still at work. Like you're still confined. Even after the day's over at basic training, you still have to go up, but you're still in your uniform.
You're still wearing army stuff in basic.
Like you can't just like change into like sweatpants or, you can't wear whatever you want still.
You're just stuck. You feel still stuck.
Yeah, and so once that's over, once it's finally over, you feel like wrong, you know? After basic training, you still feel like you're doing something wrong. Like once you put your pockets in your hands, yeah. So I thought they were pretty cool. They gave like a cool insight of what military life is like in the Korean army, because like being an American soldier, we have our ideas and we have our cultures and customs and courtesies and stuff like that. So when we first saw the drill and ceremony, I was like, oh, okay, you guys do that too, that's pretty dope. And then your guys' basic training morning routine, oh, okay, they have to wake up sharp and they have to sweep the floor, clean the bed, have the bed a certain way, and then do the similar things, but we're still different. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you kind of have like your thoughts about what you think people in the Korean military do. And then you see videos like this and it's like pretty relatable. Like, hey, I do kind of the same stuff in the United States Army. It's not too far off, very similar.
Yeah, Katusas, the main differences I would say is Roka versus Katusas is the Katusas are definitely a little bit more chill. They're shy, you gotta talk to them, get to know them a little bit, and then they'll start opening up for you. But as far as intense, they're not as intense, they're just doing their job and then...
They just do their job and we do ours, we talk to them. They're pretty cool. Like we just have conversations on like break times during work and stuff. It's not really as intense as these training videos, our job anyways. If we were infantry, it'd probably be a different story.
Yeah, so like, say we're infantry, every day is pretty much, unless you get, you know, explicit permission from your leadership, like you're gonna be going to parade rest to your chain of command, whoever's above you. You're gonna be doing the customs and courtesies, you're gonna be saluting your officers. You're gonna say sergeant or corporal or sir at the end of every sentence, and it's going to be pretty intense.
Like the videos.
Pretty like the videos, yeah. Like I said before, Koreans are very shy. But you gotta think about it, right? They're Korean, like I'm an American, like, oh, our English is really good. And they might not be, especially if they haven't been to any other countries besides Korea, like they haven't been to like Canada or America before.
Europe.
Yeah, they might be a little bit shy talking in English with you, but like you show that you're not gonna like make fun of them for like maybe messing up for little words here and there. They're gonna like slowly open up, and then that's when you get to practice our Korean, because like although we're here helping South Korea though, we got to learn the Korean language, and like we got to adapt and assimilate with the Korean culture, because like we're not just gonna come here and just be like, oh, you know,
I want to take something away from you.
Yeah, no, we want to add to South Korea and actually like learn about Korea. And one of the biggest ones for me is like, you guys do this and we do this. So that was pretty big. Yeah, and then the personal space, Korea, it's like very tight.
Public transportation.
I love the public transportation here in Korea, and the etiquette and the buses, like it's very quiet, nobody's talking loud, no music is playing and stuff like that, and it's very easy to get around. I would say all soldiers like have a very similar base to it. Like every soldier,
at the base of every soldier, no matter what country, is going to be discipline. You have to instill that discipline, like no matter what country you are. Like Korean soldiers, first thing, you go to basic training just like American soldiers, and they instill that discipline. They make sure you're cleaning, they yell at you, make sure you're experiencing that sense of urgency that you have to hurry up with everything you do. It's very similar, and I think it's like that so that you're ready for a real world situation. That's why it's like universal, kind of, because you're ready for the real world situation to act with urgency.
I think rogue soldiers may be a little bit more organized. I think because just the Korean culture in general is just more organized. One more difference is that most Korean soldiers, I find, was like, because Americans, like we're big and bulky, but like, you know, our diets back in the States is pretty like, you know, so you don't really see too many like, you don't see too many thick.
You do see some, every now and again you see some Korean men who are like, yeah.
But similarities, I would say, at the end of the day, nobody, like, we just want to go home at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, everybody wants to go home and like, you know, but come to work motivated, you know, ready to work, share experiences with each other, and just get the job done at the end of the day.
Roke very like respectful as well. I feel like they treat us with a lot of respect, so I try to return the favor.
Yeah, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, guys. And
your voluntold service. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having a good country, and the people are really respectful, very courteous. I hope we continue our relationship with Korea, because Korea is a good country. Korea has brought many good things to the world. Korea is a great country to visit. If you guys haven't visited Korea, definitely come. I would totally recommend Korea to be a duty station to come to, because it's very fun. You get to travel, you get to experience a lot of different cultures, you get to open
immerse yourself.
Yeah, you get to immerse yourself in a different culture, try different food, try a bunch of stuff, blow your mind.
Yeah, life is exciting here. Like, it's completely different from the States, and you go outside and you can't read, but then you have to learn. You have to teach yourself. You have to immerse. It's very fun. It's exciting.
Yeah.
So I definitely recommend it.
Thank you guys so much. We hope we see each other again.